Hello, I'm Charles Oskran. I'm here at Viking Fresh Off the Hook in Barnegat Lake. And today we're going to be doing a little demonstration on a nice way to grill swordfish. There's a cross section of the fish, nice red lines in it. You don't want them to be brown, I mean the fish was old. And we're going to cut a steak out of this half to fit. This is normally the way you got to get it. A nice 1-inch thick steak.
The swords get graded on the bloodline color.
Swordfish is very easy to grill. It's a very firm fish. You can treat it like any other steak. You're going to cook it to a rare point because you don't want to overcook it. This is a nice tuna steak here, about 1 inch thick with the skin on. You're going to grill it with the skin on. There's a little trick at the end where we're going to take that off. It comes off easily once cooked and still moist in the middle. And what I'm going to be doing here is I have a balsamic vinaigrette. I'm just going to lightly coat with. I'm going to pat that in. I'm going to start the grill. Gives it a bit of a little smoky flavor with that. And we're going to give it about 4 minutes on the one side and a little bit less on the second side so it doesn't get overdone. But right now what we're looking for is nice grill marks on it to give it good dark grill marks. It caramelizes the sugars that are in the fish. While not black, black's going to give it a charcoal taste. So we're going for deep dark brown. It's going to be what we're aiming for. Now along with this I'm going to grill this romaine lettuce and red onion. What we're looking for is these nice dark lines as we lift this up. And we're just going to give it a little turn. There's this red mark going through the fish. It's a bit more fishy flavored, whereas a swordfish is not a very fishy fish to say. Whereas if you're not sold on eating fish, a swordfish steak would be a great start for you. Today we're not taking it out. Those are nice cross sections, dark brown, not black. And the vinaigrette helps it to loosen it from the grill. And once the fish has been cooked to a certain temperature, it won't stick to the grill anymore if your grill is clean. Just gonna wilt some lettuce. I've done nothing to it other than cut it. Just a little bit of grill softens up the lettuce, and with some grill marks, nice and tender. Gives it a good aroma. It's a great flavor. Grilled onion, the caramelized sugar in the onion, it's a wonderful thing. Now we're almost done with our steak. At the end of cooking a swordfish steak, the skin should peel off nice and easy, just like that. And that's a telltale sign that your steak is done and still moist in the middle. So you got an opaque through, it's still very moist and tender. To plate this, we're going to give it a little extra drizzle of our vinaigrette and our Caesar dressing. And we're going to garnish with croutons and some freshly shaved cheese. Pecorino Romano, the best we have, the best there is. And that is a nice light fare, a good hearty meal. It's very healthy for you.
Pick up!
Due to all the sacrifices that the U.S. have gone through, the sword fishery is in much better shape. It's sustainable now, and I see a bright future ahead.
There is one big success story at ICAT, and that's North Atlantic swordfish. We were able to rebuild that stock in less than 10 years. That's because all the countries agreed to lower quotas, they stayed within their quotas, and they rebuilt the stock.
Well, it took some time, but we did eventually get fishermen from around the entire Atlantic basin to reduce catches, and swordfish are resilient, and we now have a very healthy stock that is above the levels that will support maximum sustainable yield. So it's more than 100%.
Here we are back again at Viking Fresh Off the Hook, Barnegat Light, and we're going to do one of our classics here at Off the Hook, which is a teriyaki swordfish over an Asian slaw. Teriyaki way is a nice way to grill any seafood that you're capable of grilling. Now, to start off, we just have shredded cabbage as a base, and we're going to add toasted almonds and a lot of the little crunchies that will be kept secret. We're going to add this, a little bit of cut green scallions or green onions. Then we have an oriental dressing, which we make here ourselves. It's a sweetened soy, sesame oil, and rice wine vinegar mixed together to make a Japanese vinaigrette. And we're gonna just to moisten everything. And this is a nice low-carb base instead of a salad or your average Caesar or house salads that you have, garden salads. This is a nice change from the pace. And do the swordfish in teriyaki sauce. Teriyaki is another soy base. It's going to help the interlock flavors. It's soy and garlic. It's a sugary, salty sauce or glazed that goes great with a lot of fish. I'm going to rub this in a little bit. A little bit over the top. We're going to let that cook 4 to 5 minutes, get nice good grill marks on it. Teriyaki gives it a great flavor. And swordfish is a fish that you can grill, much like a steak or a tuna steak as well. It's firm enough to where it's not going to break apart on the grill. It's like, say, a flounder, which is just going to flake apart. Swordfish will hold together nicely and be nice and firm. It's also a not very fishy fish, so to say. It doesn't have a great fishy flavor to it. So for those of you who don't know if they really like fish or not, it's a good starting point. Teriyaki sword, we're gonna give this a turn now. And with the teriyaki sauce, it might get a little sticky to the grill, so it helps have a very clean grill. Now, coup de grace on this, we're gonna do a little grilled scallion and grilled pineapple. This is gonna be a nice flavorful lunch, low carb, and excellent to eat. Everybody loves teriyaki, whether they know it or not. You can have teriyaki almost anything. Nice grill marks, not black grill marks, brown grill marks. Black will be overdone slightly. And we're gonna give this about another minute or two on this side, and then our fish will be done. It's a very, very fast to cook, and you do not want to overcook swordfish ever. It's going to dry out, it's going to lose its flavor, and you're better off cooking it like you would a normal steak to a rare point. The easiest way to see if your swordfish is done, if that skin comes off whole, nice, and clean. That's still going to be nice and moist in the middle. You can see actually into the steak. This swordfish is done. It's still going to be very moist. You have it on there. Now we're going to get grilled pineapple along with it. All right, now we're just garnishing with a little bit of chopped scallions. A little bit of drizzle of the teriyaki for a little bit of extra flavor punch. Over the coleslaw as well, the Japanese coleslaw. And just for looks, some black and white sesame seeds. And this is an Off the Hook classic.
In the mid-1990s, the North Atlantic swordfish biomass was at about 58% of that level necessary to produce maximum sustainable yield. So it was really approaching a condition of being overfished, and the U.S. swordfish fleet recognized that and really wanted to address it through the international body, ICAT. They came to us, urged us to develop a two-phase plan to address the problem. The first phase was to reduce catch levels internationally to a level that would stop the overfishing of the stock. And then the second phase of the plan was to develop a 10-year rebuilding program to further reduce international catches and allow the stock to rebuild. Sure enough, in less than 10 years, the stock fully rebuilt to the biomass to produce maximum sustainable yield, and it's one of the great success stories not only for the United States but internationally. It's not very often in fisheries that we achieve a fully rebuilt stock from one that had been overfished on the domestic level, but at the international level it's truly extraordinary to bring that many nations together to agree to do something and be successful in doing it.